Guts of Iron.
Welcome back to another episode of Luke Talks, bros. My name is, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a storyboard and how to make a great storyboard. Not like those bad storyboards. I'm going to show you how to make a storyboard in today's episode of Luke Talks. So when you make a storyboard, the first step is you got to choose a ratio. A ratio for how big the border for your film. This is 8:6 ratio. So an 8:6 ratio is used for films and feature films or short films. More of like a one-time project that usually doesn't have sequential or doesn't go on cable as much. For things like sitcoms or funny comedy sitcoms, that would be a 4:3 ratio. So it would be more of a square ratio. So another thing you got to learn when making a storyboard is the opening shot. The opening shot is the most important thing in the film. Well, I mean, it's not the most important things, but directors spend months and months and so much time trying to make the perfect opening shot for a film, because it's what the audience sees first and it's what's going to determine whether they want to continue watching or not. So it's really important to make the best first shot as possible. I made a little film of me just making a random storyboard. Think of it as it's a guy giving a speech basically. So when I wrote this storyboard, it started out with a fist. I like starting off my storyboards with something symbolic, like when you watch the watch on Dollar Per Day. The first shot in Dollar Per Day is Trevor handcuffed trying to escape a police officer. It shows that the film's going to be about angst. The film's going to be about struggling and trying to get out of situations, and that is what you want as your first shot. Something that represents what the entire movie's going to be about, or film or TV show or whatever. Very important. When you see the movie Star Wars, what's the first thing you see besides the text? It's a giant spaceship flying over your head. Shows that the movie's going to be about something powerful, something adventurous, and probably with the gun shooting, that would show that it's an adventurous movie with a lot of fighting and conflict. And I like the fact that there's a small ship running away from the big ship. It shows that a small rebellion is going against something big, which is really powerful. Why Star Wars is, I don't know, there's a lot of cool things in Star Wars. And George Lucas was actually really known for his storyboards. So the subject of a storyboard or a film is basically whatever is the focus. So in this case, I'm the focus and I have to focus myself on this camera, right? So basically, there are ways you can go about this. You can do a wide shot, which a wide shot is good for opening a scene. And when you go into a close-up, that's more for tense scenes, like what's really important. When there's something intense going on in a movie or dramatic, you bring the camera closer to the head, to the eyes. So you crop it more, or no, you don't crop it, but you give a close-up on the subject of the film, because that's what's important. That's what you want them to know. A tense, important scene is happening. So you bring it to close up. But for something less important, like a common conversation, that would be a wide shot. Panning is basically when you take the camera from this end and tilt it like this. Panning, like that. And then tilting is basically self-explanatory. You tilt it up and down. That's basically what it is. And steady cams are basically when the camera goes with someone or something, like it moves. Rocky was the first Steadicam. Steadicams are a way to basically go from to move the camera easily, so you can roll the camera out. So basically, when they made Rocky, they had this tripod with wheels basically, and they rolled the camera on like a rail, following Rocky on that scene where he walks to, I think it was the pub or something. He's just walking and then in the town, and then there's a camera following him, and that was the first Steadicam, fun fact. So when you draw the action, give close-ups to tense scenes. The eyes are very important. When you make a film, you want the eyes to be the most important thing, because the eyes like this, happy, sad, or angry, or yeah, so the eyes are really important because they determine how the mood is for the scene. And a lot of great films have this thing called show don't tell. So the thing is, when there's a lot of dialogue explaining what's happening, like movies relying on dialogue instead of actions, it gets boring. For example, in Rocky, that scene where they're yelling at each other, the teacher and the Rocky guy, they were yelling at each other. They're mad. He doesn't want to work with this guy because why? This guy comes back to Rocky after he's been mean to him and stuff. So it's just they're yelling at each other. But then he leaves, goes down and leaves, and we see Rocky run out and shake his hand, as if they're gonna work together in the future. But it didn't say that. They didn't write it out, because that would have lost the emotion behind it. A lot of things are symbolic. So you want the symbolism and the actions to be more powerful than the words when it comes to writing movies or storyboarding. Timing. So if you see my storyboard, timing is how many seconds is it? How long does it take to get from here to here? How long is this one shot? Timing is important. Cut is basically when you cut the film, it cuts to a different scene, or it cuts to, you get the idea. And fade to is basically when it fades out to another scene. So that's important. And that's all I got for storyboarding. If you like this, please keep in mind that I'm gonna make more of these Luke Talks every Monday and Wednesday. Also, I have a plan to do my all-out best to make a Story of Trey Thursday, a new one. I hope you like it. Subscribe to my my brother gives me crap for saying subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Feece Studios. I'll put a link. And watch our content. I'm really ambitious about this project. Better watch our content. Thank you for watching Luke Talks. Have a great day.